Hey everybody, I'm with Jason Crusan, who's the director of okay, I knew I'd forget it. What is it?
It's the director for Advanced Exploration Systems.
Director of Advanced Exploration Systems for NASA. I mean, how cool is that, right? And Jason just gave an awesome presentation here at Crowdopolis, a crowdsourcing conference. And I wanted to talk to Jason about some of his successes and lessons learned, and I think we can all benefit from this. So Jason, one thing I'm interested in, you've got this really proud scientific organization. How do you get an organization like that open to the idea of solving highly technical problems through open sourcing through the world?
Yeah, I mean, so at first when we first started talking to our engineers and scientists, of course, they think they have the answers. But there's a lot of things that they didn't know the answers, or they don't have enough resources in order to try to get those questions answered in the timeline or the schedule they want. So the way we approached it at the beginning was, how do we use crowdsourcing to augment what they have? Can we take some things off their plate that they don't have time to do today?
Interesting.
And that opened up the door for them to see the results. And then when we had good results, the results started speaking for themselves. And that was the main driver for them. And then what we end up doing is then they start interacting with those communities that we have, where the results are coming from, and they are their technical peers. So once they actually find the people outside of the agency, they actually now have relationships and they become colleagues in engineering and science.
Fascinating. So really what you did is you created tangible personal benefits, really, to the people involved. You got them to see the benefits.
Yes, got them to see the benefits both of their career, but then also colleague, peer-to-peer engineering benefits, back and forth to both of them. But yeah, it was a combination of both.
Now, I was quite impressed with just the scope and the breadth of the crowdsourcing you're doing. Everything from packaging to food to highly engineered components on the International Space Station. So tell me, what are some of the lessons learned? Two, three big lessons learned as you've gone down this journey.
Yeah, so the first and foremost is the how to define your problem. I mean, a lot of people come to us and internal to the agency, and we start talking about what their problem is. We start decomposing that, pulling back the layers of that problem, and get to the real crux of what they're trying to really accomplish. And what we find out is what they try to come in with is probably not what we would go outside with. So how do you define those problems? Spending a lot of time on the problem definition that meets the community and the end goals that you want to have. That's probably our first and foremost lesson learned. The second one is patience is another one. It takes a while for these things to be adopted across a large organization, especially like NASA. We started with pilot programs, build some successes, get some examples. There's nothing better than hardcore examples that allow people to see what could become of that. And then the last lesson learned is don't stop with just one type of challenge or one type of platform, but how can you expand its use deliberately expand its use across multiple communities and multiple challenge types, and try to stretch the limits of where it can take. And then at the end, share your results with the crowdsourcing community so we can all learn what incentives works, how to manage communities better, and we all become better of a crowdsourcing community as a whole, too. So.
Well, that really sounds like such a best practice, Jason, as far as spreading cultural best practices. In fact, you mentioned in your talk, you're actually starting to spread some of these best practices outside your agency to other government agencies.
Yes, so you can think of us kind of as a government-to-government consultancy, where we actually go in, we help another agency formulate their problem statements, teach them about the problem definition phase. We actually help them run pilots on some of our platforms to help lower the burden of the procurement mechanisms in the government for the first time that they run things, and then help them set how they will approach crowdsourcing as an agency, which is going to be different than how NASA approaches it.
Yeah.
But giving them that safety net and that the nice, warm and fuzzy kind of feeling that this is okay to go do because NASA's doing it.
Well, that's absolutely brilliant. The other thing I found so fascinating is you mentioned how this is really igniting the imaginations of people around the world. People want to be part of NASA, and quite a large percentage of the people involved in your crowdsourcing efforts are from around the world, which presents its own opportunities and challenges.
Yeah, so I mean, I think when you get those really diverse solutions, people from different backgrounds, economic, socioeconomic backgrounds, they're applying their experiences to those problems as well. So having that broad support's been really beneficial. The global piece of wanting to be part of the world space program and kind of support that, growing in a general interest in space, it never hurts anybody at this point. For all of us to be inspired and push on for the next exploration goals that we all have.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for your really inspiring talk today. And for all our readers around the world, how can they connect with you and learn more about the amazing crowdsourcing opportunities at NASA?
So if you would like to learn more about our software and algorithm type challenges, just search NASA Tournament Lab, and then from there you can actually find the rest of our challenges we have. You can always find me on social media at Jason Crusan is my Twitter account.
Jason, thank you so much for joining us today.